I'm a simple-minded engineer, so I tend to look for things that actually can be done that would help. And when we complain about everybody else, that's fine, but that's just a complaint. So what can we do here in Texas to increase the dialogue that Kathleen was talking about? The first thing we can do is change the name of the frickin' railroad. All right? It's a disgrace that our legislature will not change the name. Fewer than 5% of the electorate know that the Railroad Commission regulates oil and gas. As Wayne says, the most important industry in our state. I guarantee you, if it was appropriately named, there would be a lot more attention on our race. We would get invited to give a lot more talks. There would be the opportunities that Wayne's talking about to talk to people about oil and gas, to talk to people about these issues. But it remains in the dark. In our legislature, we're going through the third sunset review in less than 10 years. And our legislature refuses to take any action on it. And I wouldn't be surprised if they do it again. They ought to change the name and do it now. That would be a good first start to begin the dialogue that we're talking about here so that people really know about oil and gas and what's happening in the state.
What's the argument to keep it?
There are several, none of which I buy, but I'll lay them out, the ones that I know. One of them is it would cost too much money to print signs and new stationery. Frankly, most of the rainy day fund was funded by severance taxes, so I don't see any problem taking a little bit of that out to buy new stationery. The other one is there's some concerns that there are certain activities like the TECQ that come from the feds that might be taken away. I know Mr. Craddock believes that may be true. I don't really buy that one either. And the third argument that I've heard is that it has such a long historical traditional name in Texas that it would be a shame to give it up. I don't buy that one either. I think transparent government, good government, starts with the right name. For God's sake, the right name. And I think that'd be the first thing we could do, be very concrete, begin the dialogue in Texas.
What do you think, Wayne?
I think now's not the time to do it. We're looking into, as far as doing it, I'm open for doing it. I'm just thinking, so far, the number I was given that it would take to change the contracts, all the things, it's around $700,000 right now. And that's a lot of money to a guy from Center Texas. And there's a lot of problems we have at the Railroad Commission we need to go to first with what the money is going to do. One thing is we're losing qualified personnel. And it's because we've lowered, they can get a job over at the Department of Agriculture and at the Land Commission on the same level for much more pay, and we're losing qualified people in the Railroad Commission. So I have some, I believe, emergency dollar needs in a low income time. Right now when the price of oil and gas is low, the chairman of appropriations has already said humorously that when the legislators arrive, they're going to find out that Santa Claus didn't leave a lot in their stockings, you know. And so I just think that is something that if and when we can do it, you know, I would consider it. It's just, to me, not on the top of the list. I believe that right now we're in too much of an economic danger from the attack of Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama, and the other environmental extremists that want to completely close down oil, gas, and coal in the state of Texas. To me, that is the first attack that we need to address. You're exactly right. The second attack is coming internally from this sunset that we need to get it, because we've got bureaucrats that are wanting to move different parts of the Railroad Commission and split up the power. Thirdly, with OPEC in danger of falling apart, they're losing they're having to draw every dollar they can because